That's my Twitter. That's not the tab I wanted to see. Uh-oh. Streaming is already a blow up tonight. Cool. Howdy. Skello, buongiorno. It is 9:02 p.m. here on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be doing a different type of thing today. Usually I use this time to work on like a Discord bot. I think that's pretty much the thing I've been building this entire time for the past like month or so. There's always a new feature to add. But today I wanted to start a new project because it popped into my head and I really want to get it done. So I'm going to be building a plugin for VTube Studio, which I can do because I also wrote a library to do exactly that. So I will be, to use the phrase that they use in the software industry, eating my own dog food today as I use my own plugin library to build a plugin. That's my plan. I'm going to stick to it. We're also going to get a little bit of the behind the scenes because, as I said, I'm making a plugin for VTube Studio. So this will be a bit more rough around the edges, as you can see the seams where VTube Studio integrates with my overlay and everything, because I'm going to be basically doing live experimentation. As you might be able to glean from the GitHub link that is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and the name of the Git repo that is currently in my uh, browser terminal here, I'm going to be building a heart rate plugin. Let's see. What am I looking for here? Got that. So I will explain it as I get these things underway. Let's see. Hotkeys. Dev. Hide terminal. Don't need that anymore. All right. So my plan is basically as follows. Move this over here. I want to make a plugin that will allow for a VTuber to have their avatar's face become more or less flushed depending on what their current heart rate is. So, for example, if you have a really good set in Ring Fit Adventure, I want you to be able to make your face, blush, flush more, become redder, more pink, whatever color suits your fancy, and potentially optionally adjust custom avatar parameters accordingly. So like you could have a sweat parameter, for example, that you can interpolate between 0 to 1 based on your heart rate. These are the things that I want to do with this plugin. First things first, I'm going to, as I said, eat my own dog food and get the latest version of my own library straight off of my GitHub here. VTS Sharp, it is a library that I've built that will let you build plugins for VTube Studio in Unity with basically no real setup required. So I will download that fresh. We will do this. What am I copying here? And then I will flip back over to Unity here because we're going to be working in Unity today for some unknowable reason. So the trick with oh, actually, you know what I should do? I should put on, there we go. Put on some relaxing music. The trick with what I want to do here is that heart rate monitors are very far from standardized. They're all Bluetooth to some degree, but the level of open or closedness of their API fluctuates wildly. There's a couple tried and true standard ones, and I don't have one of those yet. I currently have access to a Fitbit, which is like a complete walled garden, in that you really can't get anything out of it except through its companion app. And then I bought this really cheapo one from a company called Wise for 17 bucks. I can connect to that with Bluetooth, but I can't seem to get any useful data out of it. It kind of is just a mystery to me. So Bluetooth is kind of a blow up. And I need to figure out, basically, if I want to try and use Bluetooth through PC desktop, or what I want to do here. So that's going to be something for a later day. I'm actually going to kind of build this ass backwards, and I'm going to try and build everything else about the plugin except for the Bluetooth integration, and I will save that for later when I get more devices that I can test with. That's the plan. So today I'll build my plugin with some way to pipe a fake heart rate value into it and see if it all works. And then sometime later down the line when I have access to more devices and I can test and figure out how I want to integrate Bluetooth, I will get that all hooked up. And if it doesn't end up panning out, oh well, it will have been a fun practice experience for myself. that's my plan. I spent yesterday messing around with a bunch of different Bluetooth libraries. They're all a pain. So we'll get there when we get there. First things first is I imported my VTube Studio VTS library in from my GitHub. I downloaded it. It's going to be on the asset store someday. It's not currently. I uploaded it for approval on September 25th, I think. 25th or 29th. Hey Fuba, and also hey Stardust Crusader. I didn't say hello to you, and I should have. Hello to both of you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. So I submitted it as an asset you can get for free from the asset store on like end of September, and they said that there'd be a 22 to 30 day turnaround time on it, and it's been over 45 days now, I'm pretty sure. And last I checked, I'm like number 700 in the queue, so I wouldn't have any high hopes of it getting published anytime soon, but you can always get to it from my GitHub. Alright, so let's see, what do we want to do here? First things first, let's... don't need to worry about the aspect ratio too much. I'm going to basically have this built into a standalone window that'll be like pretty small. You wouldn't actually include it on your stream overlay, but it would be like a small application that would have a very basic UI. You can input what kind of color you want and adjust your values for your threshold for this and what have you. Fuba, since you joined right after I gave the explanation, I am building a VTS plugin that will allow me to adjust the color of my model depending on heart rate for a heart rate monitor stream. Like if you're playing a very scary game or you're doing Ring Fit Adventure, when your heart rate goes up, I want to have the model become like more or less flushed. That's my plan. Alright, so to do this, we will create a... Actually, I can just use this one. Part of the library. Show VS Code. Or rather, hide this. Oh, it's showing the wrong VS Code. Cool, streaming's a blow-up. I had 2 instances of VS Code open, because I was working on something else earlier. There we go. And let me adjust the size for this. Preferences, settings. Should be more readable. Yeah, so part of the library that I made for this has a very, very, very basic My First Plugin class. So similar to what you use in the Everblue streams, right? So that's out of the box with VTube Studio. What that is doing is it applies a coloration to your model based on the average color of different regions of the screen. But you're correct in that it's tinting the model still. So it's similar in that regard. With the way the API works, you can actually do both of those at the same time. You can have a plugin like what I'm about to write that will color your model one way, and then you can have it mix with the color provided to you from VTube Studio itself. Alright, so, first things first, let's we're going to rename this to be the heart rate plugin. Let me open that back up, because this is gone now. Okay, so I made this as idiot-proof as I could because I'm a big idiot and I knew I'd forget how to do this in the future. This is really all I need to get started, and then from here I will be able to have different things happen at different points in the app lifecycle. So, to begin, we can very easily test that this all works. I will go into Unity here. I will make a, I guess, manager type object. Plugin manager. There's no real reason to make it on its own object, but that's just how I typically do things. We have heart rate. I did not rename it in the script, my bad. Important that the name in the script here lines up with the name of the file. This is heart rate plugin. It's something C# is very particular about. Let's see. Go back here. Unity will do its compilation. Boom, we add this. This now has a plugin name and author field as part of the library. So plugin name is going to be VTS Art Rate. Plugin author is me. And since it's in the scene, actually, and also one other thing I'm going to do. If you thought my previous coding streams were blow-ups where I forget to tab between my IDE and the thing I'm actually working on to test it, today's going to be even better because I have 3 things to toggle between. I've got the internet, like for documentation and web apps. I've got Unity, and I've got my IDE. So I'm certain I'm going to keep forgetting to tab between a couple of them. Alright, so what I need to find is this token storage dealie right here. Actually, this is fine. This is fine. We go back to Unity. So I've added this as a component onto a empty object. When I hit play, you should see it pop up in the bottom right corner of the screen here, like that. That is what happens when you connect to a plugin in VTube Studio. As we can see, it recognizes the name of the app and the user who made it, which is me. I will go over here and I'll hit allow. So cool, we've confirmed that we can connect to VTube Studio. First hurdle overcome in a 12-minute flat time over here. Very easy. The library makes this very easy. That's its major selling point. That's the reason I made it. So now we can actually get to making stuff happen. So let's do private void update. So this is the polling loop that Unity has. I used an automatic scene switcher at one point to let me swap between apps and I have the right thing show up. That's a good idea. It's a pain to set up and you really want an automatic source switcher. Yes. I know there's ways to do it where it's like only, or hide the app when it's not in focus, but it doesn't seem to work for window capture. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with it, or what I'm doing wrong. People have suggested this before and I cannot figure it out, probably because I'm not very bright. Also, hello Millennium Cyborg, thank you for helping me test Bluetooth operations on Windows yesterday. I am deeply indebted to you. And Tummy is here. Wow, everybody's showing up. Hello, hello. So you guys missed me getting the part where I actually connect to VTube Studio to make a plugin happening in under 12 minutes because I was using my own library. To use the software terminology, I'm eating my own dog food. It seems to work. The dog food is very tasty. I dare say it's healthy. Alright, so we've got our loop here. So now we can do this dot. We can call any function of the API. So we're going to do, I think it's tint art mesh. Yes. We have a color. This is basically the example that I made way back for my little, yes, eating your own dog food. That is a phrase in software engineering I hear quite frequently. Eating your own dog food, to put it, I guess, more simply, is when you use your own product. This is something that many software people don't seem to do, because many websites, applications, programs, what have you, are very user hostile or just have really obtuse user interfaces, don't do what you want them to do, kind of just aren't fun or suck. Ah, classic. I walk in on the dog food talk. Flair! Hello, hello. I'm so happy you're here. Wow, it's really popping off actually tonight. This is like an uncharacteristic number of people popping in for one of my dull-ass programming streams. I'm very happy to hear it. Or see it, rather. I'm not hearing the chat as much as I wish I would. Yes. So yeah, eating your own dog food basically means using your own product. You confirm that it's safe to eat, good to use, what have you, when you eat your own dog food. Oh, I'm being hosted. And also, I noticed that my little alert is in the wrong place. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong today. Thank you for hosting me. I appreciate it. Where is that fucker? Can I not move it? Oh, wait, no, that's chat. Where is my alert pop-up? Huh? Well, probably nobody else will bother me today. Social. Oh, there's my alert box. Doi. Let's move this over here. Okay, yes, I'm gonna probably explain what the plugin is like 5 times today, which is good. I'm happy that people keep showing up. I wish I could have this somewhere on the UI or the stream overlay to be a little more clear. I want to make no, don't apologize, don't apologize. That's how streams work. I want to make a plugin that will allow the Live 2D model to have its face, or I guess really any part of it, become more flushed the higher a heart rate value is. So say you've got your heart rate monitor and you're playing a terrifying horror game. I want you to be able to configure what part of your model you want to have tint a color, what color that is, and what the expected range of values for your heart rate are going to be. So you've got your resting heart rate, which would be, white, no coloration. White meaning just no pigmentation, whatever your default pigment is. And then the color to tint it at, like, the, in theory, highest extreme heart rate that you'd expect. And then perhaps you can also have it adjust other parameters and things like that, interpolate them as well, based on a heart rate value. You could use this for a horror game where you get really scared. You could use this for Ring Fit Adventure, which is a very popular VTuber game for some reason. People like to work out even though they're, 2D cartoon characters on a TV screen. Yes. Yes. That's the plan. I just want to link this up to a heart rate thing. So today, because Bluetooth is the most fickle, I guess, spec, standard, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever seen, I'm doing everything except the part where we actually connect to a heart rate monitor today. I will have it spoof a value for what the heart rate is, and I will see that everything else works. Or at least I'll try my best. So, first things first, we connected to VTube Studio, no problem. Now I'm going to make it tint my entire model a color, which is very, very similar to what I did for 0.5 for this. For the demo video that I have in my pinned tweet. You could have them die in the game if they die in real life. You have a specific heart rate monitor in mind as well. So that's another thing I was talking about. There is no standard environment for these kind of things. They all connect to Bluetooth, and Bluetooth has a heart rate monitor service, like standard API, that you can get information out of, allegedly. There are documents about this on Bluetooth's documentation website. But the two devices that I currently have on hand are Fitbit, which is, I would say, closer to how Apple handles things, in that it's a complete walled garden. I don't think you can connect it directly to your desktop or any other device except through the Fitbit app, and you can't get information out of it because they lock that shit down tight. And the other end of that, I have this band from a company called Wise that I bought yesterday at Micro Center for like 15 bucks, and that I can connect via Bluetooth to my desktop, and I can get services out of it, but I can't get any useful information out of any of its services. So I don't think I'm going to be using either of those. There are a couple websites and other applications, like Pulsoid, I think is one of them, and I can't remember the other one, that a lot of VTubers use. And those have a list of recommended heart rate monitors. There's one that's like a Coos, C-O-O-S, I think is how it's pronounced. There's a Polar one. I don't have any of those on hand yet, so I'm pushing that down the road. Do you have one that you would like to try and test this with, Flare, or are you just, Hyperrate is the other side I know of, yes. yeah. So I don't really have one in mind yet. I'll get one when I get one. Bluetooth is a real pain in the ass. I'm amazed that in 2021 it's actually this hard to get a device to connect to another device. Anyway, Art Mesh Matcher. I've written like 12 characters of code so far. It rules. And then on success and on error. This is going to be success. Error. Why is it? Oh, I forgot a comma. Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. So now this is going to do very similar things to what the demo video I have in my Twitter is. As soon as I hit play button here, my model should turn bright red. Let's see, does it happen? No. Why? Yes, there we go, it's a delay. My bad. Had to connect first. Cool. Okay. So, that's expected behavior. I keep hitting the wrong hotkeys. Show VS Code. This. Pretty straightforward stuff. Using my own library here. we have a tint art mesh function that we can call. I'm a virtual boy now. I always have been. I'm a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. That's what I do. Oh, I'm bright red again. That's exciting. Why, though? The app isn't running, is it? Oh, it is. I hit play again. My bad. So I've got this function that I wrote as part of my library. You can just call very easily. You specify a color. Part of the new lighting tools that they've added in VTube Studio let you get color from your, what's the phrase? The average color of your monitor. I've been using this for Everblue to make it look like I'm underwater. Very good feature. So as part of this, you can specify how much you want to blend those colors with the color you're specifying here. You can do like 0 or 1 or halfway. 1 being only take the color from what we're applying here. 0 being only take the color from what VTube Studio is applying, or you can blend them to different degrees with this. Going to start with 0.5. Art Mesh Matcher will specify what parts of the mesh are going to be colored. I did a default one, which is everything by default, and I've not specified any behavior on a successful API call or on an error call yet. We will get to that when we get to that. So this all makes sense. Pretty straightforward. We're happy to do it. Next up, what do we want to do? Let's make this color able to be a variable. So we will add private color 32 color. Now you guys get to see how wildly different my C# coding habits are compared to my JavaScript ones, where it's extremely who cares. New color 32. Here I've got like a very strict set of patterns. I do all member variables with an underscore for some reason. I don't know where I picked that up from. Right, this dot color. But it is something I try and stick to as much as possible. I think it makes it easier to find what you're looking for, but never really sure. Okay, so if we go back to Unity, let's set up a basic UI here. We're going to do a panel. We're going to set up our canvas to be scale screen size. We're going to do 0.5 so it matches the constraints. Can I do I want to do like mobile phone resolution. My plan for this is to build into like a really small window. Can I do custom resolution? Yes, I can. Type fixed resolution. Build. Let's do like 400 by 800. Something weird like that. Nice and tall. Good, good, good. So we've got our canvas. We have a container for the UI. I love doing containers with Unity's UI. People complain about Unity UI all the time, but I think it's actually pretty intuitive because you just get to containerize everything. So we will do a input field. Cool, cool, cool. Scale screen size. Already did that. Cool. Let's pop this up at the top. And I'm going to have this be a hex code we're going to put in, because hex codes are fun. Unless... Actually, I guess poll the room. Do we think I should do a hex code, or do we think I should do RGB values for, like, separate input fields here? Because I could see this going either way, or I could do both. And it's whatever you put in most recently, I guess. I'm not actually sure. It's confusing that imGUI is the name of the style of UI API, the Unity implementation, also the most popular C++ implementation of the concept. Flare says RGB, so I trust them. They know it's good. I was thinking hex codes, because then it would just be really easy. You just pop in a single string. But let's do RGB. Okay. So we're going to do another little container. Let's build another panel. Panels within panels. This one is going to be... How do I want to do this? Actually, you know what? I'm going to need to do a scroll at some point, I think. I should probably think about that ahead of time. Putting the cart before the horse, maybe. I originally thought hex codes, but then I thought about how most people might want to play with the values. Live just says, who knows though, right? Yeah. I don't remember how scroll bars or anything work in Unity. I'm putting the cart before the horse. That's fine. Okay. Let's do... Okay, so we have one of these. It's not going to be stretch. It's going to be... Width is like 200. Height is like 100. That's probably plenty big. We're going to do UI text. This is going to be R. Oh, that's plenty. That's way big. Okay. Size 22. Center, center. This is going to go from... The best part is watching me assemble the UI for this is going to take like twice as long as actually writing code. Truly love to do it. Alright. So... Okay. This probably needs to only go to like 0.3. Boom. UI, insert, input field. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's not in the container. That'll do it. Something like that. And then the panel doesn't need to be quite so big. We can have this be like 65. Cool, okay. Now let's make this into a prefab. Color input. So my plan is I'm going to make, I'll have 3 of these and I'll put them in a layout manager. And each one of these will have a on value change field here. Can I specify these need to be numbers also? I'm not sure what kind of content type. Integer number. I wish I could say that it needs to be a byte, but I guess we'll figure that out. Character limit 3, because bytes can't be bigger than that. Cool, cool, cool. Placeholder is going to say color byte value. Alright. While I'm rambling about UI, who wants to tell me an interesting story? What's everybody been up to? I also spelled color wrong. That's awesome. I know we've got quite a few other streamers in here, so I'm always interested to hear what people are up to, what they're planning. But I'm not going to put anybody in the spot, of course. If nobody wants to share, they don't gotta. I can ramble on and on about doing okay, taking it slow, as you know I am. Yes, I'm happy to hear from you pretty much every day. I felt bad because I didn't check in today, but I probably should have. But it is what it is. I spent most of my free time today following a Unity tutorial. That rules. What are you trying to do in Unity, dare I ask? Unless it's a secret. In which case, don't tell me. I know I don't need to, but you're my friend, so I want to. I don't need to do anything. Ray tracing. Oh no! Words he hates to hear. Why are we ray tracing? Alright. Public. Void. Set. This is going to be set red. I guess these are all going to be separate methods, I guess. We're going to do like, this is going to have an int value, I guess is what it's called. And we're going to do oh wait, no, it's going to be this dot color equals new color 32. This dot, or it's going to be value. Can it downcast to a byte, or is it going to get really upset about this? This dot color dot G, this dot color dot B. Doesn't like this. Cannot down. Oh wait, no, it needs the alpha, of course. This color dot A. And now it doesn't like value. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to basically have 4 methods like this, so you can specify each color independently, and then it will update the color in real time, and we don't need to track the actual values. We just have the color aggregate object, but it doesn't like that it's coming in as an int. I'm assuming that's how it's going to work because it's a input field here, and on value. Oh, actually, it passes a string, even when I specify it's going to be a number. So we're going to do string value. Time to make a helper function private. Oh. It's not going to join up with my streaming anytime soon, but I'm diving deep into random graphics topics at the moment. That's fine. I've seen some of the cool stuff you've put together for your own streams. You did a really neat tutorial on having reflective glasses for your setup, and I thought that was very interesting. It definitely was cool to see, especially because that came at a time when I was working like nose down on getting this library set up, I think. So I was also really in the plugin and VTuber asset headspace. So seeing other people work with different workflows was very, very cool to me. Public void. No, this is not void. This is going to be byte. String to byte. String value. What's the best way to get this to return a byte from a string? Can I do new? Byte's a primitive, right? I can't do this, right? Didn't think so. String to... Can I do... Is there like a string method? No, this isn't Java. What am I talking about? String dot join format, etc., etc. This looks like a job for Stack Overflow. Let's go. I don't feel like figuring out what the correct way in C# to downcast from a string to a byte is. C# cast string to byte. I don't want to do a byte array. I guess, okay, actually, no, it would be cast numeric. I'd have to convert it to an convert.2byte. 8-bit unsigned integer. Oh, this might be good. We'll see what happens. That was a case of OBS shaders being the easiest tool to get started with. I got quite far. It was cool to see. Let's see. Convert. Not image conversion. We're going to need to use system. Using system. Now we're going to do convert to byte value. I guess I don't really need a wrapper function for this if it's a single line from system, but who knows, maybe this won't work and I'll need to do more. Let's see. Hopefully that works. Okay, and then I can pop this back open. Oh, that's VTube Studio. We've got my input field here. We're going to say on value change. We are going to go call our plugin manager here. We're going to say this is going to set the... Why don't I see... Oh, wrong class. Set red. I'm going to fire this bad boy back up. I've hit play. I've disappeared. That's exciting. I think I set myself to opacity of 0. Let's fix that. Let's not do that. Oh, I'm back. We're good. It's because I did new color, which is just going to do 0 bytes for everything. So let's do color 32.white. Surely that's a thing I can do. Color.white. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's try that again. Alright, so color to byte array. Well, that made me blue for some reason. I guess, well, I guess it's because it's less red than it's expecting. If I do like 255. Uh-oh. How did I lose tracking? What happened? Holy shit. I crashed VTube Studio somehow. That's exciting. Streaming really is a blow-up. I don't know how I managed to do this. Give me one moment, please. I don't know how I managed to do that. Oh. Ah. Whatever, I'll just relaunch. It worked for just a moment, yeah. I don't know what the issue was. But that's okay. I'm alive. Like I said, it's real mad scientist hours, so we're doing grim experimentations on myself. That's the death counter of 1 so far. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see, will I get it to crash again? 128, middle of the road. Makes me kind of blue, because it's expecting 255, which is, you know, white. Cool, and if I give it a red of 0, I should be like a very teal color. Format exception. Input string was not in the correct format. Oh, okay. That's what's causing this to crash. Interesting. Why did it crash, though? I don't know. I'll have to check the debug logs later. Denshi, if you're watching the stream, I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what I did wrong. Yeah, and I gotta notice that the WebSocket died. I did not think it was possible to crash it through bad value inputs, but that's good to know. I also don't know why it thinks the input string is not in the correct format for a value of 0. Oh, we're back, though. Somehow. I don't think we're connected anymore, though. Maybe we are. I did get this to reconnect, I think, automatically. This is more of the dog food eating. Is this going to tint, or did I lose connection entirely? Ah, perfect. Yes, cool. So, I guess it was like timing it. Oh, I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I'm getting messages where the WebSocket's like, actually, you can't connect to us. It's kind of hard to read, but that's these exceptions here. It's saying the WebSocket host is kicking me out. I don't know why. Let's do fixed. Update. Anyway, it seems like setting colors kind of works. So I can follow this pattern. UI. We're going to make a container box for this. We will add a vertical layout group. Everybody's favorite. So now I should be able to, on this, yes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can get rid of the one we had before. Don't need that anymore. This is going to be color, selection. Alright, so I asked other people to share stories. Here's what I've been up to this week. I have traveled up and down the East Coast. I've been getting in the habit of driving to where my folks live every 2 weeks ever since September, pretty much, which is kind of draining on me. But I've been doing a lot of driving, quite a lot of driving. I had a relative fly in from way out of state, so I decided it was time to pay them a visit because I haven't seen them in about 3 or 4 years. Very tiring, I gotta say, though, to drive that much. I don't know who all else drives in the chat. Wouldn't recommend it. It's not very fun. Let's see. We don't want to stretch this all the way to the bottom of the screen. This is going to be from like 0, or not to 0, it's like 0.7, like that. Visit my parents every 2 months or so for 4-hour drive each way. Yeah. Yeah. I think we have about equidistant travel time. And I dare say we're probably going to similar locations, but that's neither here nor there. It's very taxing. I did get to cross a river on foot, though, which was pretty cool. They had like a rail bridge that I was able to just walk across. I've never walked across that river before, but it was neat. Kind of cold, though. Did get caught in the rain, but it is what it is. Another part of that is I got a brand new phone. I needed to upgrade while I was away because I'm losing cell service relatively soon, because my prior phone was rather antiquated, I guess. But now I'm having to get everything set up again, and it's a real pain in the ass for work. I have a two-factor authentication app that I need to realign with my new phone, and it's difficult to do when you don't have the old one, because I did like a trade-in to save money, and I didn't think about this ahead of time, because I'm a stooge. So let's see, this is going to be red, blue. Why am I spelling these out instead of just green and then alpha? Alpha, so we've got R, G, and the cool thing is I made these a prefab, so I can change the font and the formatting of these later, and it'll update all of them because Unity has nested prefabs now. I remember when that was a brand new feature, and it was earth-shattering to have that. Let's see, so color selection, we're going to say child alignment is not upper left, it's going to be upper center. Actually, we could even do middle center. Perfect. Get rid of that. Input field. So we're going to say on value changed. Or actually, let's do not on value change. Let's do end edit. On end edit, we're going to do set red. Heart rate plugin. Set red. I'm also curious, because we were getting an issue with it before. Before we do this, I want to know what the value of what we're getting for our byte is, because it was saying it was a poor format, so I'm curious what it thinks it's actually going to be outputting. String. I also don't want to keep crashing VTube Studio. Not while I'm streaming, at least. String to byte. Value. So let's have it print out what it thinks what it's getting here. So we hit run again. Should be all set, I think. 28, and edit, 128, cool. Likes that. I realize it's kind of hidden. 0, it likes that. Blank. When you do blank, it has a number format exception. So what I'm going to do, here's some big brain coding time. This is why I made this a helper function, because now I can do try catch exception E. I'm going to make it swallow the error and just return 0. If it cannot understand what the byte or what the format of the value you put in, I'm just going to have it assume that it's going to be a 0 byte. I think, or maybe I want it to be a 255 byte. I'm not sure. I actually don't really care yet. But this should protect me against the exact error that I was just seeing, and hopefully cause Unity to not wig out on me. So we will show that again. Code hardening, you know it. That's the way we do it. Just follow the exception. Delicious, delicious food. So if I leave this with like that, it will, you can't see it here, but can I make this bigger? It's like, got it. I understood ASB, which is what I input as my text field here. I wish I could make this bigger somehow. Like more visible for you guys. I guess I can like zoom in, but then I don't know how to navigate this. I don't know, it's weird. Let's change our resolution. Let's do fixed resolution of 400 by 400. Yeah, anyway, it says it's 0. I gave it a nonsense thing over here. I also am glad to see that it's like not respecting. I thought I put a character limit in here. I actually thought I said a lot of this stuff, but I guess I didn't. Okay. But yeah, I put in a bunch of nonsense, and it's like, yeah, got it. It's 0. So that's good. Let's go to the prefab for this. And say that this can only be a number. Input field. You right here. Integer number. Character limit of 3. Alright, that's fine. So we know that that works. That's good. We can re-enable this, I think. And we can copy this for the other values. Set blue. Got a ton of thanks for the stream. Anytime. Thank you for stopping by, Millennium Cyborg. I look forward to seeing what you do with all of your cool technological advances, just like what I'm doing here. I think it's great. This dot color red R. I don't know why I went to E next. I should put these in order. Set green. Here's a pop quiz for the class. Does anybody know why colors are formatted in RGB and not RBG or any other order of pigmentation? I'm assuming it's arbitrary, but there might actually be a reason, right? Ah, cool. Bon has just arrived home. Excellent, excellent. This. B. I've never questioned it. I mean, right you are to not question it, because why would you? That's like a thing a delusional person would ask. I will let them know that you're welcoming them home shortly. Alright, so now we can hook this up to everything else. We've got B. Wait. Oh yeah, I named these wrong too, because I keep thinking RBG for some reason. Green. This one is blue. RGB versus CMYK? CYMK rather, but that doesn't explain the order. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, is like I don't understand the order. I know the difference between those color gamuts, but I don't know why there is a specific order for those things. On and edit. Wish there was a faster way to do this. Heart rate plug in. This is green. This one is. Alright, plug in blue. Wait, did I pick a static by accident? I need to choose dynamic, set blue. Did I do that for green as well? Okay, good. In Unity, you can specify a static input for these kind of events, and you gotta make sure you don't do that for what we're trying to do here. Because that's the whole point of the input field, is to get the dynamic value. Is VTuber Studio free? Yes, it is. Wait, what do you mean our icons are RGB? What is it? They have an order to them? VTube Studio is free on Steam, by the way. Fuba, yes. As is the library that I'm using to make this. And Unity itself is free to... What am I doing? I am not focusing. I completely lost focus. Flair hit me with this science fact about the cones in our eyes having a specific order. Orders based on wavelength. I guess that makes sense, yes. Okay, you got me there. That makes sense, yes. Set alpha. Alright, so I have my color helper functions. I tell it to tint with the color. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense now that you mention it, wavelength. Totally makes sense. Alright, we are connected. So we are going to do 0, 0. Oh, that just makes me a silhouette. That's fun. 255 for red. Makes me bright red. You can see this is working in real time. 128. I'm going to turn into a ghost. There we go. That's a good look. That's a half opacity, 255. And I think that's a compelling argument for wanting these to default to a full value instead of a partial value. 128. Yeah, you can see that this seems to work, as one would expect. Yeah, okay. So that's cool. This seems to work. So let's end that. Go back to here. Now the next step is getting it to only apply to a specific part. Hey, Bon is here. Bon, Flair was just welcoming you back to the home. I think Fubo is also saying hello. Everyone's here for some reason. It's great, right? Check this out. I have a key on my stream deck bound to doing the wave and skeleton emoji. You got stopped by the popo? Wait, really? Is this a story you want to share on stream, or I'll ask you later. Well, you have like a tail light out or a headlight out or something? Oh. Oh. You can't do that. How did you not notice? Oh, okay, just momentarily. Okay. I see, I see. Fuba, popo is a colloquialism here in the States for the police. Popo. The coppers. Probably one of the more polite nicknames you can use for them. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's the police. Bon got pulled over because she apparently turned off her headlights. And as I said, it is almost 10 p.m. here, so you're supposed to have those. Alright, what was I saying? Yes, okay. Oh, okay. So the next step is getting the tint to only go on the part of the model that you want it to go on. I don't need to have my shirt flushed or anything like that. And fortunately, there's a really cool way that I can do that. So we're gonna, let's see, do hotkeys, web dev. Go back to the internet here, and I'm gonna show you guys a cool app from the VTube Studio list of approved plugins. Where is it at? Where is it at? Hawkbar, where are you at? I know it's on here. I might be wrong. Hawkbar. I know you've got... Is it on your official website? I know... Okay, so there's a site that I'm looking for that connects to VTube Studio, and you can get the list of all of the meshes in your model, and it will highlight them when you hover them, which is exactly what I want to do, because I want to know what my face is named, so I can demonstrate what I'm trying to accomplish here. Hold on, I have to go digging for this. Fortunately, I know where the last place that I put it was. Lock. Bar. No way. Oh wait, no, I DM'd it. That's where it was. I need to search my DMs. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. This is legendarily good website. Check this shit out. Here's all of my model pieces. And when I hover over them, they should turn magenta. Yes. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I'm invisible, but I'm highlighting over these different, I'll see if I can blow this up. Hold on. Oh. Doesn't like that. Yeah. So, like, I've got... What am I looking for? I'm looking for my head, right? So I've got face. Should be face. Where are they? Huh? I just saw it before. Oh, head. There's hair front, there's head front. When I highlight over these, so this is a useful tool. How poorly you separated my model. Yeah, well, it's fine. This is a useful tool so you can figure out what the different art meshes are named. This is what I'd recommend people use when they want to use this app. You can see my jaw bounce around. Pretty cool. Alright, so that's enough of that. I now know that what I'm looking for here. I want a... We're going to go with head front for starters. Pretty cool, right? I don't know why this isn't more widely advertised, this site, because it's really good. Hawkbar does a ton of really good stuff. They wrote the JavaScript library that is the equivalent of the... Or rather, my library for Unity is the equivalent of their JavaScript library. They did it first. So we're going to go back to this. Gonna show VS Code. Oh, wait. There we go. So that's where this art mesh matcher thing comes in, right? I just made a default one because I wanted to match everything to start with. But we're going to want this to be different. So let's see. We will do... Watch me make a new object in the update function like an absolute degenerate, throwing memory around like candy. Or, you don't throw candy around. What do I mean to say here? I'm wasting memory, though. Matcher. This is very inefficient. This is going to allocate new memory every frame, which we don't want to do. But we'll figure out a way to optimize this when and if we need to. We have our matcher. We're going to do matcher dot name contains head. Wait. Sorry, no. Why is it suggesting this? Oh, sorry. Name contains equals that. It's a property, not a function. Gonna lurk for a bit, just finished dinner and want to get some work done. Have a good stream. Finishing dinner at this hour? My god. Well, thank you for stopping by. I really genuinely appreciate it. Yeah. You're a good egg. I really like talking to you. You're good. Why is it not like this? Expression. This isn't JavaScript. That's right. I can't just do this. I can't define arrays in line. I hate it here. String. Or can I do like new? This is really bad. By the way, what I'm about to do here, I need to do using systems.collection. I'll explain why instead of just saying it's bad. Generic. Okay, so I'm about to make a new list, which is already a wrapper for an array. And I'm going to downcast it to a normal array every frame, which is just a tremendous waste of memory, but it's good for prototyping. What do I do? Double braces? Is that a thing? Am I mixing my magics? There's definitely a way to do this. We can consult the internet again. Let's see. C#. What is it? Array inline. You have to create an array first using new. I'll take it. This is better than what I was trying to do. So they're saying instead of using this array, I can do this. New. Head. Oh. Cool. Okay. And then we're going to use that matcher. I'm going to close temporarily. Hawkbar is very good web plugin because I don't want to do that anymore and be a ghost. Boot this bad boy back up. Does not seem to have taken. Why? This should be only tinting my head right now. Now, there are two possible things that could be going wrong here. It could be a dog food issue where I haven't tested this thoroughly, and it's an issue with my library, or there's no more I need to do for the matcher. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, right. There's a boolean in here that I need to set as well. Matcher. Tint all does exactly what it says. False. It is by default true because I assume that's the behavior people want the most. And it's the easiest way to verify that it's doing something. We're going to hit play again. I've told this to match art meshes that have the word mouth and head. So I'm going to set this to 128 and it should make my head blue. Yo! It works. That's really good. Let's see, I can zero this out entirely. Just become the void. Blue Skeletom, yeah, right? So you can do that. I'm gonna now do like the 255, just only red on the face. Oh, I need to set an alpha. 255. There we go. So this is more or less what I'm kind of expecting the plugin to do, where like it would really make the face flush. You could, you know, set a different color. I don't know. I don't have a color off the top of my head that would work well for this. But 128 when I'm nauseous. I don't know. Gray. Castle Grayskull over here, big He-Man fan. But yeah, okay, so that's working as expected as well. So, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, so that works. We can accurately tint. I can also, yeah, I can make my whole head disappear. Really get to see how the sausage is made here. You can see the back of my hair. 255, 255, 255, 255. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, nice. So that works. That's good. We'll close the plugin. Tomatom. Yeah, you're not wrong. Show VS Code, hide this. Neck, I think. So the next step, I have input fields for choosing your color. Yes, I got you. So I've got input fields for choosing the color. I'm also going to need input fields for specifying what art meshes you want to color. That'll be another part of this very basic UI that I'm trying to set up. We run this again. Okay, cool. I got my neck this time. I added neck as a thing to match, which seems like how it should be done. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So let's think. Well, let's move this as a whole prefab in and of itself. What do we want to do next? It would be I'm being silent here because I'm trying to visualize what I think the next step for this UI should be. I've got like an hour left before I usually stop for the day. So I can probably hammer out something serviceable. I'm not sure what though. Because I could have it be a thing where you specify color per matcher. That's probably what I want to do, right? Because then you could actually have really high degree of granularity over this, where you can specify like the neck gets a certain color, the jaw becomes extremely red, and the face becomes not very red, something like that. So that might be good. Yeah, it's actually been an hour. I have not gotten very much done, but that's okay. I don't stream these things because I want to get them done very quickly. I stream them because I want to talk about them and talk about my thought process and introduce people to these kind of concepts. Okay, hold on. Let's do that. We're going to do one more color input here, but it's not going to be for color. This is going to be text. Yeah, okay. Dang, it felt like minutes. Well, I mean, an hour is just 60 minutes after all. So, in that sense, it has only been minutes. Going to be a standard string field. Yeah, I'm just trying to think again what I want this to look like. Because you could do RGB and then have a list of matchers. So like for what I just did, it would be RGB matches on the head face, and then like I would have like a button that let you make more of these in a list, I think. So you could then specify a different set of matchers for a different RGB value, I think. Actually, yeah, okay. Then it felt like seconds. What is an hour but 3,600 seconds? Actually, let's change gears a little bit. Part of this was also I said I was gonna spoof a heart rate, so let's do that part of this. We're gonna do serialize field, private. Actually, there's gonna be an int. Initialize it to 70. I can use the range function for this. Minimum 50, max 120. I've never had a pulse go higher than my pulse go higher than 120. I don't think it's ever actually gone that high. So the range annotation here will, if I tab back to Unity here, when I go to my plugin, create a little slider on the UI that will let me interpolate a value. I just realized that, well, I'll change it for the next stream, actually. I realize it's kind of blocking the actual value, which is not great. Yeah, I have a little slider here that will let me spoof a heart rate. So, what I want to do is, instead of just choosing the same color every time, where I've got this dot color, this would be a color.lerp color.white untinted, basically. Color.white. I think this is from N2, right? A to B? Yes. And then T is going to be... we're going to do private int max rate equals, we're going to say 100. So this would be a user inputted theoretical highest possible heart rate when you should be the most flushed. And in theory, if you go over that, it shouldn't change anymore. basically. So we're going to do... So a lerp function, linear interpolation, is where you get a... You go from one value to another value as a function of a third value. So for example, if you needed to... let's say you had to go take a value from 0 to 1 over 10 seconds. Your t value here, if it was a value of 5, would be you'd end up with a value of 0.5 because it's a function of how far your t value here is. That's not a really good explanation of linear interpolation, but basically it's like a gradient kind of thing where you go from one value to another as a percentage, kind of. So here we're gonna do this dot heart rate divided by this dot max heart rate. And it should give me a normalized value, like so. Ooh, I have a compilation error, it says. I forgot a comma. Let's see. Back to this. Cool, cool. So now if I run my slider... No? Why not? Oh. That's kind of binary. As soon as I hit 100, it just does the thing. Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting, but not what I want. So, okay, so this should be creating a new color. Linearly interpolates between colors A and B by T, which is what it says. Color A is white. And then my color. So it should be going from white to my color with value of this heart rate. Only one thing to do. Debug log. When in doubt, what does it think these values are? Only one way to be sure. Let's go. Pop open this. Pop open terminal. Okay, it always thinks my value. Oh wait, because I didn't put my bad. Hold on. 255, 0, 0, 255. Weird. Okay. It's not It's not doing the interpolation properly for some reason, or it's something fucky with my math here, but this should be correct. It's just going from the value to this value, but it should be a gradient. I don't understand why it's not. This is what I get for programming so late at night, but it is what it is. This dot heart rate over this dot max rate should be providing me a value from 0 to slightly over 1. But it's not. When heart rate's really, really small divided by the maximum rate, it should be like a 0.5, so we should be halfway to the color that we want. But it's just a very binary snap. I don't know. Ugh. I don't know at all. I feel as embarrassed as my character looks right now. Bright red. I don't know why this isn't interpolating. Oh, wait, hold on. That might be why. I didn't realize color 32 had its own lerp function. Let's try again. $255, 0, 0, 255. So it's starting at white. But as soon as I go to 100, it flips like a binary switch. That's not what that's not what lerp should be doing. That's not how this is supposed to work. That's not how any of this works. I don't see what the issue is. Alright, so let's not debug the color. Let's debug the value that I'm trying to lerp over. This should be a smooth value from 0 to 1. Oh! I remember. I know what it is. Okay, so heart rate is an int, and max rate is an int. And so you cannot get a value of less than between 0 and 1 for an int. Because it, I need to cast these as floats. Float. When you divide an int by an int in this language, you get an int. You don't get a float, you don't get a decimal. And we need a value from 0 to 1 to describe our interpolation here. So that's why we're getting a binary switch. It was rounding down to 0 until it got to 1, and then it was rounding up to 1. Hold on, this is about to look way better. That's what it is. Alright, zoom this out. There we go. So as I drag the slider, you can see it changes the intensity of the color. When I hit very high values, it maxes out. So I can do like 255, alright, 255, 0, 0, 120, or 255 as well. And there you go. So now I need to specify a lower bound for this as well. So that there's a point when it is not tinted at all. But yeah, that looks good, I think. That looks like what I'd want. Like, this is when you're really angry. Like, I can do my favorite emote, where I get really mad, and I tint my whole face red like this because I'm just fuming. Yeah, that looks good. Just get angrier and angrier and angrier till I explode. Nice. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. That's working. So now we need to specify a lower bound. Runtime hotkeys. Looks perfect, right? Yeah, it's really good. So now I specify a lower bound over here. 70 is a normal heart rate. Something like that, I think. You can maybe go lower if you really wanted to. And then so for the math here, our lerp function, it's going to be... How do I normalize this? So it's heart rate, I think, minus this dot. No, not that. That's not correct. We want it to be a value of 0 if it's below the minimum rate. My brain is betraying me, as it's very good at doing. What's the math for this? This should be very simple and straightforward. We have a minimum value. We have a maximum value. We have the heart rate value. And I can't just subtract the minimum value from the actual heart rate, because then you'll never hit the maximum value. You don't subtract the minimum value from the denominator either, because then you'll hit the max way too early. Why is this eluding me? Never try and do math at 10 p.m., kids. It's just not worth it. Okay. Is there a math function that I can use? Wait, actually, is it just minus this dot min? It might be this. This might work. This might work? Okay. Yes, okay, that's what it was. I just needed to subtract it from both ends. Cool, okay. So now when it's like a normal resting heart rate of 70, you don't really get any color, but as it goes up and up and up, you get more and more flushed. And even if you go past what you specify as your maximum, it just hits a cap. Cool. Alright, we like that, we're happy with that. I've got about 20 or so minutes left before I usually call it quits, so I'm going to try and get that part where I interpret the things, the matchers that we want to match. So let's do that as well. This is going to be, let's see, private string array matchers like so. String 0. Why did I capitalize this? This is in Java. Get out of here. These don't need to be objects, they're primitives. So we will do public void set string. Once again, I don't need to capitalize that. Value. And we're gonna do we're gonna do what are we gonna do? Trim dot split char separator. Wait, does that not work? Oh, needs to do a space. Like so. So the split function will split this on spaces. We probably also want to split on, or try and split on commas as well. Can I do that? Cool, okay, I can do that. And then we're gonna do this matchers. Probably a lot more sanitation that I would need to do here as well. Like I probably want to do Actually, I don't necessarily want to enforce to lowercase or anything like that. Matchers. Matchers. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Firing this up again. We specify our color. And right now, because I have no matchers, nothing should happen. But then I'm going to put in my matchers here, I'm going to say head. Oh, oops. I have to fix that as well. Input field. I limited it to 3 characters by accident. Character limit 0, I think. Head, neck. No. So I put those in. Oh, that's really small on stream though, isn't it? Head, neck, and mouth. I can go back to my plugin and start interpolating this value. No? Doesn't like that? Okay. Interesting. Oh! Not interesting. I didn't tell it to actually do anything when I input the value here. So we have to update this. Anyway, this input field has no character limit. When the value is edited, we actually need to do something with it. So we go to our plugin manager, heart rate plugin, set matchers. Let's try that again. Just for the sake of ease of execution, just set these all to 0. Head, comma, neck, comma, mouth. Like so. Oh, huh. That's weird. That seems to have captured everything. Oh, I bet I know why. I bet it's because I have these spaces after the comma. Head, neck, mouth with no space. There we go. So I guess if you have a empty string and you use that as a matcher, it will use like a wildcard. And it will match every art mesh, which is fair. There we go. So now you can input the meshes that you want to colorize, and it works. Very, very basic, but it works. So we can go back to setting this to 255, 255, and it works. We input the things here, like I can prove that this works dynamically. Cardigan. I'm gonna tint my shirt as well. There you go. Very cool how all of this works. Denshi really outdid himself with making this application very flexible, and how easy it is for me to make something that writes into it. Very, very cool. We like that. We like that a lot. Yeah. I think that's a decent place to end for the day. So this is going to be matchers input. Let's say apply. I think so. Okay, here's my game plan for next time, right? Here's what I want to do. I need to do a couple things. I need to show my VS Code first. I will do Everblue tomorrow, yes. Not only am I doing Everblue tomorrow at the usual time of 8:30, I am also doing part of a Minecraft collab with a bunch of my friends, including Bon. I don't really play Minecraft very much, but they asked me to, so I'll be there. That's at 2 o'clock EST. So I've got a busy, busy day tomorrow. I will be doing 2 streams, though I think the first one is only going to be on the person who's hosting the collab's Twitch channel, which I will host on here. So if you come to this channel, you will be able to watch, because that's how hosting works. But I don't think I will be streaming my perspective, because I don't really see the need to, and it's their collab anyway. But if that changes, I will tweet about it. I have no hesitancy towards tweeting whatsoever. So, it is what it is. Okay. Anyway, my game plan for next time I work on this, which might be next week, it might be a while from now. I don't know, I might go back to the Discord bot while I wait for myself to get a compatible Bluetooth watch so I can test this for real. I think I want to make these like a pair, and then in the UI here, I would have like a plus button, so you can make one of these as a whole module. So you can say like, okay, for my neck and jaw, I want it to be this specific color, and then for the rest of my head, I can want it to be a different color. So you can combine your colors with a set of matchers, and you can specify however many of these you want. I also need to allow the user to input their expected ranges for the minimum and maximum heart rate, and then I need to get this to save also, so I don't have to re-input it every single time I launch up the application. Those are, I think, the next couple of steps. And I guess we'll see where I go from there. Yeah, that's going to do it for me today. I guess let me make sure I save this, and then I can do what I always do in my other coding streams where I make sure I push, git status, git add all, git commit m, initial, initial commit. Brand new repo, so you know it's good. Git push. No unit tests. Oh shit. Hold on. Git checkout. Wait. Shit, I always do this. Git by default sets its branch name to master, and GitHub by default sets its branch name to main, and I just made a commit for the master branch, which doesn't exist. Git push. Can I do set stream origin main? Will this work? Git fetch. Why is it failing to push? Respect main does not match any. Why? Why? This is not how I want to end this stream. If I check out to main, though, I think I lose all the code that I just wrote. Because it's in a commit to the master branch. Can I do this? And then can I do git checkout main, git full, or I can do git merge. No. FF master. Unrelated histories. You hate that. Git pull. Fusing to merge unrelated histories. Why? Why is it like this? I don't know. Whatever, it's pushed. If I go to my GitHub, which is where is my GitHub? I can see that it pushed repositories, heart rate, but I pushed it to not the branch that I wanted to push it to. Can I do a merge from here? Are entirely different commit histories. I hate this. I hate that this is the default. There's no way that I can merge these from the UI, right? It's just not going to let me. Alright, so be it. I appreciate what they do, where they choose main over master. I think it's a better branch name, but it causes problems like this. It is time to... Let's see, master... Can I set this as default somehow easily? Edit. I probably shouldn't mess with this on stream because it might be potentially, I guess, showing a password or there's important information about this repo, though it is a public repo. As it's been crawling across the screen for the entire stream, this will be accessible by everybody and free for everybody to use. Eventually it will compile down to a exe file that you can just launch, but for now, code is here. Anyway, okay, that's going to do it for me for realsies. I'm getting tired and I'm losing my mind, so let's see, who can I raid? Age-old question of every VTuber. I think Sass is still playing monkey games, so that's probably the go-to. Let me check. Yes, they are. Okay. So I'm gonna send you off to... Yeah. Ain't no problem. I wish I did a better job of explaining my stuff. I'm not super happy with how I addressed all my thoughts and everything today, but you know, it's a learning process. I'll watch the VOD and I'll see where I can improve on. Anyway, I'm gonna send you off to this person, Sasquatulus, who is playing a bunch of monkey-themed games for what they call, quote, Apes Giving, which is, I guess, their November holiday ape stream. When I left off before my stream, they were playing Ape Escape 2. I'm not sure what they're playing now. Tell them I said hello. Oh, they're still playing an Ape Escape game. They're playing the Ape Escape party game. That's exciting. Anyway, it is what it is. So that's going to be it for me. Bonus era, have a good night. I will see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon and evening for Minecraft and Everblue. I am going to try and play as much Everblue as possible tomorrow because I would like to hurry up and get the game done. I feel like I've dragged it out long enough. Anyway, yeah. Bonus era, good night.